How's it going, everybody? Lon Eagleton here. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be answering questions that you guys submitted to me on Instagram for a Q&A video here. Now, we had over 100 question submissions, so I'll just be answering the ones that I feel would be the most valuable for people to hear the answers to, the ones that I think I could offer the most insight. And I haven't actually even read the questions yet because I just wanted to kind of react to them organically and authentically off the cuff here. So yeah, all right, let's get into it. What was the feeling of your first time being on stage and being famous? So these famous questions always kind of throw me off because I certainly don't think of myself as being famous. But first time on stage, it was amazing. Best time of my life. Loved it right away. The being famous thing though, the probably the first time that I did feel like, maybe some people do actually recognize me in certain settings. This was pretty cool. It was a few years ago. I was at a local music store here in Vancouver, and I wanted to get a very simple repair done on my electric guitar. It was literally just like tightening a screw on the inside or something. Honestly, it was probably something I could have just done myself. I walked in and I was like, hey, I just need to get this fixed. And they looked at it. The guy who was helping me at the desk, he looked at it and he was like, oh yeah, this will be about 5 days to get fixed. And I was like, what? Like, this is such a simple thing. All of a sudden, the other employee at the other side of the desk looks over and he's like, whoa, don't you know who this is? This is Lonnie from Black Veil Brides. And the guy who was helping me was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Here. And then they fixed it right then on the spot and they didn't even charge me for it. So that was pretty cool. And I was like, whoa, man. So that was probably like the first time where I was really felt like, whoa, man, maybe my name does carry a bit of weight in some cases. But, apart from that, which was pretty cool, but apart from that, like, and maybe a few other instances over the years, I don't really think of myself as being famous at all. And I'm just happy to be playing music. What's your go-to to play when you're stressed? When I'm stressed and I pick up my guitar, I just play blues licks. It's probably the style of music that comes most naturally to me is blues. That really helps me to unwind. All right, everybody, I hope you are enjoying the video so far. We're going to take a quick break here to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Gothic Jewelry. Now, they've been kind enough to sponsor another video here on the channel, and if you're unfamiliar, Gothic Jewelry is an online retailer that sells awesome jewelry that I'm a really big fan of. When I'm on stage, I'm always looking for pieces that can help me become a heightened version of myself up there, and I find I can really do that confidently with Gothic. It's the kind of thing, like anything on their website, I pretty much feel okay just blindly buying and wearing. I'm looking through the site, I'm like, I'd wear that. They just have so many cool things. And just a way of saying thanks for watching the videos, we've got a promo code here, which is promo code Lonnie. You can use that at checkout on the Gothic website for 20% off anything you like. So we got the links in the description below. Use promo code Lonnie at checkout for 20% off. And thanks again to Gothic for sponsoring this video. All right, let's get back to the questions. How do you mentally prepare yourself before going on stage? So I guess I'm lucky in the way that I really don't need to. Some people have rituals they do, or they'll meditate, or whatever they have to do. For me, I could literally be napping and then wake up and step on stage 10 seconds later. And I have been known to do that, actually. But yeah, really, I prepare well enough ahead of time before leaving on tour that I feel pretty confident just stepping on stage at any time. Any tips on getting better at playing guitar standing up? Yeah, really it's just a matter of doing it. And I guess if I had to give a tip, having your strap at the appropriate height, because if you have it too high, you're going to look super uncool. If you have it too low, it's like impossible to play. And actually, when I first started playing with Black Veil Brides, I used to have my strap a lot higher. And the first rehearsal, the guys in the band were like, "Man, you got to lower that strap because you're playing in a metal band now." And I was like, "Oh, I guess you're right." And it took me quite a few weeks to adjust to playing at that lower height with the strap. So yeah, really, it's just a matter of doing it. But it's very different playing guitar standing up and sitting down. When I'm practicing for a tour at home here in the studio, when I'm running the tunes, I'll play sitting down for a bit. But the like couple days before I'm gonna leave, my last few practice sessions at home, I'll actually practice standing up here at the desk, just so that I can get that muscle memory going with the standing position, because it's very, very different than sitting. What's your favorite song and artist band of all time? Favorite band is Led Zeppelin. Got the band symbols tattooed on my arm right there. Got those done probably over 10 years ago now. But yeah, Led Zeppelin. What's it like being on a tour bus? Well, it's really cool in the way that you're on a tour bus, and touring on a tour bus essentially means that you're, playing in a band that is doing fairly large shows. That kind of comes with the territory. So it's really great in that sense. I find the bunks very cozy. Even though they're quite small, they're just, I don't know, it feels like you're camping or something. It's essentially like having a sleepover with your buddies, right? But at the same time, everyone's working too. So you do want to be respectful of people's boundaries, right? Because everyone's living so close together. You want to make sure you're not annoying people, and make sure you're cleaning up after yourself, all of that stuff, right? That all goes along with being a professional. But yeah, it's great, really, and we have a lot of fun times on there playing video games or just having deep conversations into the night, traveling between cities, all that stuff. I really like it. Can you show us your home studio / jam space sometime? Well, this is essentially it. I'm not working with the largest setup these days. It's more so just this desk here. I did a bit of a home studio tour like 3 or 4 years ago on the channel, but I might have to do an updated one of those because I've gotten a few new things since then. But yeah, what you see in my videos here, this background, it's not a green screen. This is literally where I work at. So yeah, whatever's here, this is kind of it. One item you cannot live without. It's got to be my lightsaber. I take it with me wherever I go. Keeps me safe when I'm in danger. Never leave the house without it. If you could play only one instrument for the rest of your life, what instrument would you choose? It's got to be guitar. I mean, every instrument has its ups and downs, but you can't deny guitar is the coolest instrument. Right? There's a reason why if you walk down the street and you ask someone to name a famous guitarist, odds are they most likely can. But if you ask someone to name like a famous pianist or saxophonist, the chances are a lot slimmer. Not saying guitar is better, but you can't deny the cultural phenomena that it has been over the past several decades. And, that's just such a cool thing and a cool thing to be a part of. What is the most important lesson you've learned in your career as a musician? I think the most important thing being a musician and playing in groups is to always be yourself. And if you're always true to yourself and the person you are and that you want to be, the right opportunities will present themselves to you as they appropriately see fit. For example, if you're trying to fit into some gig that isn't you at its core, you have to like dress different than you normally would or behave a certain way, then that just means it's not the right gig for you, So if you don't get hired for something, it just means that it wasn't the right thing for you. And then you're available to find the opportunities that do fit themselves to you. Like me with Black Veil Brides, I love wearing the eyeliner and, dyeing my hair black and wearing like the emo clothes and stuff. I personally love that aesthetic, and I feel like I can fit in the band quite well because of that. Yet if I were to be playing with somebody where the gig entailed like putting like body glitter on or something, I might not be as suited to that as a person. So, and this is all due to the fact that I've always been true to myself, and I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. So always be the person who you are at your core, and the right opportunities will find themselves and be presented to you in due time. Can you speak French some more when you'll be in Montreal? I don't know. Maybe. I'll speak French to you right now. Je suis très heureux que tu veuilles venir au prochain concert à Montréal. Et laisse-moi savoir dans les commentaires quelle chanson tu veux qu'on joue pendant cet concert. Merci. What's the biggest show you've played at? I think in terms of like people watching, viewer count, 2016 I got to play on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and at that time, from what I understood, there were 2 million people who watched the show. So that would probably be the largest at the time. In terms of a live show, maybe 50,000 or so. Do you still practice your trumpet and clarinet? No, I just I just pull them out whenever I need to. I did take trumpet lessons for a bit in college as a class, but no, not anymore. Honestly, these days I don't even practice guitar anymore, if I'm being honest. I play hours every day for the music I'm working on that I'm producing for clients or whatever it is. But in terms of like running scales and practicing metronome drills and stuff like that, I really don't have the time. The thing is when you're a teenager or you're at a certain point in life, you have so much more time to practice because you have less responsibilities. And, I remember being a kid, music was kind of my escape, right? That was the one thing that allowed me to express myself and, escape reality when I needed to. Nowadays, when music is your job, when it's a career, as soon as that switch happens, your relationship with music changes. Not that you don't enjoy it as much, but it's not that same escape. It does become a job, a very fun job, and one that I would not trade for the world. But, nowadays it's like if, I work 10 hours a day in the studio here on all the projects I have going on. So I really don't have time to practice. And when I'm done sitting at this chair for 10 hours, the last thing I want to do is run scales. So, I'm comfortable with the level of musicianship I'm at right now. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Your relationship with music changes when it's a career, for better or for worse. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Lonnie Eagleton. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.